We on the block, we got stories to tell. From the court to the street, we can always excel. We talk sports, we talk life, we talk culture and grind. Politics in the mix, come and open your mind. So brothers speaking, truth with that old school beat. Breaking down the game from the field to the street. Laughs and debates, every episode tight. We light up the mic and go all night. Talking about the world and how we rise. From hoop dreams to politics, no disguise. Culture and life mixed in the flow. Just two dudes letting everybody know. Now we talking about the world and how we rise. From hoop dreams to politics, no disguise.
All right, so here we go. This is our first back podcast of the time. Today is Monday, October 28th, 2024. And this is the reintroduction of Pique This with your host, Troy Berry, the other guy, Severen Henderson, which is me. And we're going to be here talking about politics, pop culture, sports, fun stuff, bad stuff, tough conversations, real conversations, all of the above. So with that being said, what's up, Troy?
What up? What up? What up? Been a while.
Back. Yeah. Back. And hopefully we can get it out like 2 a month. So that's our goal for the time being until we get going a little bit more. But that's a lofty goal to start. So
lofty goal, but good. It probably should happen.
Okay, see, there we go. Positive thoughts, positive sayings. We putting it out there in the universe. So I'm with that. So like I was saying, we did this podcast before. Like I said, on our little pilot episode, we did it around the show Snowfall, and we had a pretty good run. People listened to us. They liked it. They liked our coverage of the show. We might get back to that little, well, not Snowfall, but another popular show that might come up down the line. Me being honest, I haven't really been watching that many shows. The only show I've been watching is The Penguin. How about you?
I really haven't been watching that many shows either. I've been so busy working, and I switched shifts, so I'm on first shift now, and be working a lot of overtime. And pretty much the only show I really follow is Tracker on CBS.
Oh man, I mean you getting old.
What do you mean?
CBS, that's the demographic for old people.
Well, you know what? No, I just like this show because it got the guy on there from
This
what was
Is
that
Us.
show on?
This
Is Us.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And I like the concept of the show. Like, he find people that the police, FBI, CIA can't find because he able to, cut through all the red tape. And he go out there and find people that he can't find. I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't typically watch network shows. Like, I'm a Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV type of cat. You know what I'm saying? But no, I like the show. It's a good show, so I'm gonna watch it.
No, it probably is. I'm just messing with you.
Nah.
We can do fact checking now because we got stuff up. Justin Hartley stars as Coulter Shaw. So yeah, I see what you're talking about. I have seen the commercials for it, and it does look kind of like a decent show. That kind of brings me to a point I wanted to ask you about. So I watched that movie. A lot of people, that movie where the guy was finding the traffic kids, and then I put it up on Facebook, and you said, then everybody who produced the movie went to jail or was trafficking kids themselves or something like that.
Yeah, matter of fact, it's funny you bring that up because that movie just recently came back into the spotlight because one of the producers on that movie was recently found to be trafficking kids.
Yeah, that's not what's
so.
That's crazy though. Like how they make a movie to bring such awareness, and then the ones doing the dirt.
I mean, a lot of people, show that they doing something to help. It's like, what I'm saying, when the killers show up to help the people find the victims.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I never thought of that either. Yep.
It's one of them type of things, but it's typical of the day. Like, people, you think probably doing good, but beneath the surface. They got something going on to, to cover up what they've done. And like I said, like when you had made that post, like, man, this stuff is, these people out here doing what they trying to expose.
Yep. That's
And it's one of them things, man. Society be like that sometimes.
So while we here, let's talk about society more. I know one of the other things that we talk a lot over social media, see each other a lot over social media. And I think I saw this from a few days ago, but I saw it again on the news. These people burning up the mail and burning up election ballots for turn-in mail. What's up with that?
I mean, it's just a continuation of the past 4 years. Like it's a thing where, it's just an assault on democracy. Like, the use of ballot drop boxes has been demonized in society by one side. One side likes the use of drop boxes because it's easy. You just fill out your ballot. Maybe you're on your way to work, drop it off. And like there used to be multiple places to drop off ballots, but then it came to a point where Republicans and MAGA were saying, well, that's a way to cheat because anybody can drop off anybody's ballots and that shouldn't be the way it should be. And you should have to drop off your own ballot. But, as long as it's signed and, dated correctly and all of the correct information is on there on the ballot itself, like who cares if it gets dropped off? So, all of that rhetoric around drop boxes, it creates a thing to hate them. Like it's a thing where, people that believe the conspiracy theories and the misinformation and the
Lies.
The lies. Let's just say what it is.
Yeah.
Let's just call them lies.
Yeah.
It makes the crazies do crazy things. So now it's been 3 instances, one in Washington, I forget the Arizona. Yeah. It's one in Washington. It was one in Arizona, and I forget the other one. But yeah, they set it on fire, and those drop boxes had hundreds of ballots in them.
Yeah.
So, they never got to, be processed. So who knows, what's going to happen with that?
But see, here's my thing that's completely idiotic about it. Like you have what this is the law already. Okay. I don't like it. I'm mad. But what if all those ballots in there was the ones that you wanted that was going to get rid of the drop boxes? How did you even know?
Yeah, you don't know. That's what makes it so stupid and dumb. Like, for all you know, most of those ballots in there were for the party you want to win.
Right.
Because, just because the drop box itself has been so demonized. It don't matter what's in there. It don't matter if it's,
good, bad,
60-40 Republican or if it's 40-60 Democrat. You don't know what's in that drop box. But because, Democrats typically use those type of things, they figure, those are mostly filled with Democrat,
vote
ballots. But
yeah.
You don't necessarily know that because Republicans have been trying to get their base to vote early as well as Democrats have been. Absolutely.
I feel like it makes sense. If you have the capability to vote early, I don't see why you wouldn't, because I don't know. I'm like most Americans, most people, I'm not a fan of wasting time. So standing there for hours on end to vote is not attractive to me. And like, even when I filled out my ballot and it had like, well, we in 2 different states, but my ballot had judge life on there. We had to vote for like every judge that ever walked through the state of Illinois ever. And I'm like, man, and then like you got to be super up to have heard of a lot of the people and know what they've done and everything, but boo hiss. So
yeah. It's all weird, dude. It's all nonsense.
And then I was going to ask another question, but I answered it because, like I said, now we can do fact checking. Well, like the regular mail, it's a federal crime, so the feds are investigating this as well. So it's a federal
It's
crime.
still mail. Like anything that goes through the mail, you know what I'm saying? That falls under the USPS, and that's all federal stuff.
You know what's so crazy about that is, so my job, my career, firefighter, and if the post office is on fire, we supposed to get special permission to go in and put the fire out. Like,
really?
Yeah, we like life safety, absolutely, but at the same time, we not supposed to just go in there and fight the fire the same way we would regular structure fire.
That's interesting. I never even thought of that like that. I just figured
me neither until
you had to go through
up.
the training and the situation came up. Man, that's interesting. I never would have thought that was a thing, but wow.
It's a federal facility. It's a federal thing. And when I was taking tests, that made me think. I was taking tests around the country, and D.C. was on my list, and I got a buddy that lives in D.C., and I always wonder, like, last time I was there was it was either right before or right after that person committed suicide, burning themselves up, like right in front of the White House. You remember that? That was that was beginning of the year, I think. Point is, like, what do they do in those federal buildings? Like, do they just go in and start getting to work, or do they got to like show their badge before they? It's just interesting. I guess I hit him up and ask him.
Yeah, I bet it's a bunch of different ways, things you have to do to get in. It ain't like you walking into a Burger King to go to work. Like you working in walking into a federal facility. So they all got badges and got to swipe their badge and got to wait till they their names show up on the screen or something, and they get waved though.
Yeah.
Or they get a green light or something. Yeah, that's crazy.
So besides politics, well, no, we're going to stay on politics, but like I said, we got an election coming up. One of the reasons I wanted to really get this one out is so I can try and get it up by Tuesday. So we got a Tuesday, we can come back and see what's been going on in the week. The most trending thing that's going on is talking about Puerto Rico is an island of garbage floating out in the middle of the ocean. And and so in my travels and my trips online and the internets, I see a guy said, "Mark safe from not being offended by jokes." And I'm like, some people are so set, and I don't want to say brainwashed, I want to use a different word, but they just so set on that side that they will let you say anything about them and still be like, it's cool. I'm still with you. I that's another thing I don't get, and I wish I could have a real conversation with a person that could explain that to me, because I mean, I'm not like an easily offended person by any stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, like, you talking about where I come from, where my heritage comes from, and saying as a joke. And it's a lot of truth in jest, because, oh, it's a joke, ha, ha, ha. But that's like when they called all the third world countries shithole countries, and like out loud.
Right.
That's not cool. That's not to get up in arms and want to go fight somebody, but at the same time, you got to have some decorum about yourself. So I don't know what you.
Yeah, you got to, what I'm saying, you got to have some type of polish about yourself. You know what I'm saying, you have to recognize that in that type of setting, like that's not the setting.
It was like a road.
Right. That's what I'm getting to. Like that's a political rally is not the type of setting to make that type of joke. Like if you doing a set at a comedy club,
right?
And you know what I'm saying, the patrons of your, your set at said comedy club, if they know that's the type of comedian you are, fine.
Yeah.
Get your shit off.
Yeah.
If you at a roast, because I was watching some footage of that guy. He was at the Tom Brady roast, and he was saying some stuff on there. I'm like, oh, okay, he's at a roast. He can get that off.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're at a political rally, and this rally is meant to show people that you're trying to get to vote for you, that they should vote for you, you can't get up there, and especially in New York City,
Right.
where if I had to guess, there's over 1 million Puerto Ricans. You go call a homeland or what? I mean, that's the United States territory, but you're going to call that island a floating whatever he said. You can't do that. You're going to offend a lot of people because this is politics. This isn't a comedy club. This isn't a roast at the Friars Club or at some Netflix as a joke setting. Like, this is a political rally where this person is trying to garner votes and make people think that he is the right president for the United States. But you're attacking people. You're attacking people. You can't do that. You can't call people a piece of shit or a piece of floating
garbage, and then expect
garbage
to be like,
shit.
yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
what's
all
up.
the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, I'm garbage.
But hold on,
This is
we saying that, and they like, it's cool. So I got two different.
some of them have.
Yeah.
Some of them have.
I got two different
crazy.
numbers up here. I got 2020 census data that says approximately 1.1 million makes up roughly 21% of New York City population. Yeah.
And that's just New York City. That ain't even taking into account, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to Philadelphia. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans there.
Yeah. In fact,
I've been to Florida.
When I was typing
There's
it in,
a lot of Puerto Ricans there.
Pennsylvania
Even
came
here
up
in
as the
Ohio
first place.
and Cleveland.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be like, yeah, that's a floating pile of garbage. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's almost like he's trying to sabotage him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't insult a whole ethnicity of people and think it's okay.
Well, he clearly thinks it's okay because that happened, yesterday, day before, and I still ain't heard nothing like, oh, I'm sorry. At this
That
point,
was yesterday.
At this point, it is what it is. He just.
And then he said he was talking about black folks going to carve a watermelon for Halloween
instead of a pumpkin.
Like,
yep.
Like, I mean, what? Like, come on, man. Like,
then he was talking about the Hispanics. I don't know if it was.
He was
Puerto
talking
Ricans
about
again.
Mexican
not pulling out.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He said Mexicans have a lot of babies because they refuse to pull out because they want to come inside, just like they want to do at
our
border.
country. Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is some shit you say
at a comedy
maybe
club.
at a fire club or a comedy club. You can't get up there and say that during a political rally. You're going to offend people. It's not funny in that setting.
Yeah, it was funny,
especially in this day and age when people are like, oh, well, we got to be all PC. Like, they try to get comedians to, roll back their set even at a comedy club. But you getting up there and saying it at a political rally where this guy's trying to get votes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that. Like, that shit is racist and it's fucked up.
Well, that's what people like about that side. I mean, they like those jokes. They like hearing that kind of stuff. They get mad when
I forget the Jew joke he said too. He said a joke about Jews, so you can fact check that. Like, you can put in there what did he say about
what's his
Jews.
name? I guess I should fact check that. Give me a second.
He said something about Jews too. Something about they don't like to take it out their pocket or they like to keep it in their pocket or something that he said.
Tony Hinchcliffe. Okay. Let's see what he said about Jews. Tony, keep talking.
Yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe, Jew joke. That's what we go put in. Like, you know what I'm saying? We probably should already had this ready, but
this is our first episode. We gotta,
Yeah, but he made jokes about everybody. But it's funny. Like, that's the thing about comedy. Like, I'm sure they knew his type of humor. And to bring him into that type of political setting and say that type of stuff, that was a misstep. And that's why they trying to like, pull themselves away from it, the actual Trump campaign. But of course, the MAGA people are like, oh, y'all can't take a joke. Oh, y'all too soft.
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't be that offended.
And that's how
No,
he
you
came
can't.
on.
No, you can't say that type of stuff at a political rally where you got to try to get people to vote for you. It's stupid and it's ignorant in that setting.
I couldn't find the Jew joke. I just keep, as soon as I put his name in, everything else comes up about him being killed, Tony. And even the AI couldn't find it because it said, while I couldn't find a specific joke from him, that a classic Jew joke is in his comedy style and wouldn't be surprising. So couldn't find it.
Yeah,
but
I saw it. I just couldn't. I couldn't
that's okay.
even paraphrase it. But I saw it earlier today.
People they'll find it if they want to know bad enough. We get when we get super big time and we can have like a real fact checker besides just me sitting here on the computer, we'll get that up. Baby steps.
Right. Baby steps is right.
So I'm reading a book right now, just came out, War, that Bob Woodward book. And I'm about halfway.
Are you actually reading that, huh?
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it. And just some of the things in there are crazy. I don't want to make this into a bash anybody type of podcast. But one thing I do want to say, like, they're at a part in the book where they're trying to give aid to the Ukraine and they're trying to figure out tanks and everything. But before that, Lindsey Graham is telling Trump about how he needs to run again. And he said, just forget 2020. Just focus on 2024. Trump goes to a rally and still talks about 2020. He said, I only brought it up 2 times. Like that was an accomplishment for him. Because at the very beginning of the book, it talks about how he used to get, as a real estate mogul in New York, he got citations all the time for whatever reason, building code violations, housing violations. Yeah. And instead of paying the fine, he would just wait until they either forgot or it just went away. And that's how he would get out of a lot of the different deals. And so that's like the exact same thing he wanted to do with the result of the election. Like, that's why he refused for so long. I think eventually one time he did say, yeah, we lost. But that's why he wouldn't say he actually lost, which is another just privileged, crazy thing to me. So what do you think of that?
Well, I think it has to do with the way he was raised, I think. Like,
McDonald's too. We talk about that next. Keep going.
Well, yeah, man, I think that has to do with the way he was raised, because from the stuff that I know about Trump, like he got a sister. Did she? No, she's still alive. He had a sister that wanted to stay out the spotlight. Then he had a brother who was an alcoholic,
right?
Yeah. And he ended up passing away. Then he had another brother who wanted to stay out the spotlight, and he ended up passing away. And his father always had pegged him to be like the father. Like he said, right. Well, you are the one with the strongest backbone. You are the one, with the
biggest personality.
Biggest personality, like the most headstrong, all that type of stuff. So you can't show weakness, because your brothers and your sister has shown weakness because they don't want to take on this mantle. They don't want to, carry on this family legacy, this family business. So you got to do everything in your power and with the wind behind your back and the ground underneath your feet, and don't show weakness. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's done. But he's gone too far.
He's gone too far.
Yeah. He's gone too far, because I think the strongest man recognizes his weaknesses, and rather than running from them and not showing them, he confronts them.
Right. Take
and
some head on and,
takes them head on.
let's
So
figure this out. Let's solve this. Let's make this better. Not pretend it's not there. Like,
not
oh,
pretend it's not there. And that's what you're saying. That goes back to what you just said. I'm not going to. I'm gonna pretend that I didn't lose the election when I know I did.
right.
I know I lost the election, but I can't let people know that I know I lost it because that shows what
Weakness.
That's
I can't
and
let
it
you know
doesn't
I
make,
know
but
I
it
lost.
don't make it, but it don't make sense, because you know you lost because you're not the president.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then you say, well, the only reason I lost is because they stole it from me. I mean, what if that? Like you can't lose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody loses something at some time.
Everybody.
Nobody wins every time in anything.
In anything.
You know what I'm saying? So to be that self-centered and that narcissistic and that just, quite frankly, dumb is bad. That's a bad quality in a man. And a man, it's like when we went to the Barack Obama second inauguration. What was that one thing we stood in front of? The measure of a man is what? What's that quote?
Yeah. Oh man. I can't fact check that because I got to look through pictures for that. But yeah, we did stand.
But the measure of a man is not where he stands in times of. I can't quote it correctly, but basically the measure of a man is where he's at when times are rough, not when times are easy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he just always want everything to be easy and everything to be right for him and everything to, fall good for him. And if it don't, then it's not right. It was a cheat. It was a steal. It was corrupt. It was fixed. It was all these different adjectives that he used. You know what I'm saying? And
it was the Martin Luther King.
That's not the measure of a man.
The Martin Luther King Memorial. They had just built it when we got there.
Right.
So it's the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
Absolutely.
Oh man, well that sums it up right there. that sums it up perfectly. What more can we say? I mean,
what more can we say?
That's what it is, because that's not what's happening right now. But like I said, a lot of people love this. I was able to find somebody at work to kind of have a conversation, but then we had to do real work and we couldn't just keep talking all day. But one of his points was, just they vilify him so much for all the stuff that he's done, and nobody gives him credit for the things that positive he's done. And I feel like one of the positives that a lot of people feel is when we were going through the pandemic. And like I said, I hope this is the last thing I have to say on this guy. But when we were going through the pandemic and people felt like they was getting free money falling out the sky and the economy was good. Well, it was two things with that. A, the economy was good because who had just left to fix the economy. So we was riding the waves of that. And B, the only reason we were in that situation in the first place is because this guy came in and let ego tear down an entire system. They said, hey, every 100 years, something funky come around and get people sick. We should put something in place. Sounds like a good idea. New person come in. That got your name on. That'd be like me coming in your crib behind you and saying this wall got Troy's name on it. I'm gonna paint over it just because I don't like his name.
Not paint over it. You go knock it down.
Build a new wall. But you get the point. Like this dude,
yeah, I get the point.
Took away all of the measures they had in place as a cost cutting measure. In fact, which ended up turning out to kill hundreds of thousands of people. You can't directly say it's his fault, but
no,
but a lot of it was his doing.
Like the worst thing, when you talk to people about Trump's quote economy, like you have to bring up what a fiscal year is. So, okay. Trump took the presidency and he won in 2016, but he wasn't president until 2017.
Right.
Obama's fiscal year ran from October 2016 all the way to October 2017. So that's right before 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that was happening was, due to, like, far as the economy, was due to everything that Barack Obama had set in place in his administration. Like all of the budget, let's just mainly say the budget, the debt, the deficit, all of that was Obama's. So then Trump was finally able to get his hands on something. And then he started doing that whole thing with that fight with the Chinese over tariffs. And like people have a short memory because I remember what was going on with that. Prices started to rise because what China did, they say, okay, well, if you're going to put these tariffs on us, we're just going to buy the stuff that we buy from y'all from other
somebody
countries.
else, exactly.
From somebody else. And they said, well, wait a minute, that ain't how this is supposed to work. Y'all just supposed to pay us more. Well, and the Chinese like, why would we just pay y'all more when there's other countries that produce the same stuff that y'all do? That doesn't make sense.
And we're the largest manufacturer of overall goods in the world.
So we're just going to abandon y'all. We're going to abandon y'all. So then I remember this stuff. It'd be so funny when you bring this stuff up to people that support Trump. They're like, well, I don't remember that. What you think I'm lying about? Like, why would I make something this intricate up?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was farmers going bankrupt.
Yep.
Matter of fact, it's to the point where farmers are still having to get payouts from the Biden administration.
Yes.
Because they are just now able to get back on the strong footing.
Yep.
And Trump had to do a $60 billion buyout because farmers had all different type of stuff rotting in their silos because it wasn't getting exported to China. You know what I'm saying? And people like, where do you get that from? Then you put it up on your phone, or you like
get it
source
from the
it
news.
On the website, or you source it on the social media. Like, well, I don't remember that. No, you choosing to forget it.
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to not remember, it's another thing in choosing to forget it. And that's what a lot of these people do. So that dude didn't have no great economy because soon as Obama stuff lifted and it was time for his stuff to take hold, that tax policy and those tariffs, because that's really all he did while he was president was the tariffs and his tax policy, we started losing manufacturing jobs. We started losing farming exports, and this stuff was rotting in people's silos. These farmers was committing suicide. They was taking out second and third and fourth mortgages on their farms.
Yep.
People don't remember that though.
Oh,
and then he want to do it again.
They choose to not remember it. That tariffs, and that's like his lean down, double down thing. We gonna go in. We gonna do this. We like you said. We gonna make them pay us. That was like what he was talking about before he even ran. That's what he talked about when he was like on Oprah, when he was still popular.
Yes, like that's not how the global economy works. You can't just say, okay, well, we're gonna put tariffs. Like some stuff you should put tariffs on.
Right.
I agree.
Some stuff you can, but you can't. Like I said, you go to another country and their economy is based on what they do, what they work, they living conditions are not great. And you say, like you said, you gonna pay us extra money. Well, why we got to pay you extra money when we make everything?
And that's the other thing is like, okay, y'all gonna put tariffs on this, but we gonna stop buying that.
Yep. And then
like
they quit buying the steel.
Okay, fine. We put the tariffs on that. That's fine. But guess what we gonna do? That stuff that y'all depend on, we gonna go get it for us to pay y'all. We gonna go get it from somewhere else. And that's exactly what they did. And then they had to bail out the farmers with $60 billion. But the farmers that didn't get bailed out was black farmers. White farmers got the majority of that money. 95% of that money went to white farmers. Black farmers got a fraction of it.
Yeah.
And then when Biden got in office, he said, look, we gonna make this right. We gonna give the black farmers as much money the white farmers got under Trump. Do you
You
know what
gotta
happened?
quit hitting whatever you hit.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fault. Do you know what happened? A guy that worked for Trump, he created this legal team to run around and find stuff that Biden was trying to do for, like civil rights stuff or just for black people in general.
Mm-hmm.
And he seen that Biden said, look, we're going to give these black farmers that got left out some money. He sued the Biden administration and say, wait a minute, y'all can't just give those black farmers that money. Y'all got to give it to white farmers too. And then you know what happened? A federal judge was like, you know what?
You right.
You right.
And
they got even more money.
Yep. Well, I wanted to stop you a little bit because you said that's the only thing you did, but I figured you was talking about financially. That's the only thing you did. But another thing that this guy got was so many judges placed that it was just unprecedented.
Yeah. And those are lifetime appointments.
And not a legal expert. But I mean, I have my feelings on lifetime appointments. I mean, I think there shouldn't be any lifetime appointments. Even in local politics, where you have cities that have mayors or council people that are there for 20 plus years and just off of popularity, like it should be a term limit on.
I believe in term limit.
I believe in everything. I can't think of one spot that there shouldn't be a term limit.
Shouldn't be a term limit. Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
RGB or RBG, I'm still mad at her. I know she passed away, but it's like, lady, it's time for you to go while you still kicking, so somebody else can come help out. You got the end all be all of legality. Somebody else, let somebody else get a chance. And we all too often, our egos get to us and we think we doing the best job we can, which may be true, but how about you groom somebody else to do that best job as well and give them some tools, some keys so they can do what you did and take it that much further.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you got to set the path forward for the next generation. Like you can't be greedy. You can't be a ball hog, so to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to think about what's in front of you and what's behind you. Like what's in front of you is death. What's behind you
is your life.
You know what I'm saying? So
what's in front of you is death.
Look, you know what I'm saying? So you got to act accordingly. It's like,
because you ain't dodging it. I mean,
yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
It depends on how you look at it. I think you look at it as in front of you because you facing it like it's coming.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's like Clarence Thomas. You know what I'm saying. He in his late 70s. He's most certain. Like as soon as say Trump was to get elected, he's retiring. Boom, he out.
Yep, because he know what it is. He know what to. He want him to get another pick.
Roberts, I mean, he's still kind of, I think he's in his 60s or early 70s. Boom, he out. Alito, boom, he out. You know what I'm saying? So that is like very important. And then this dude saying if he get in office, he go put that chick in that threw out that documents case down in Florida.
Yep.
She only in her 30s.
Yeah,
she's obviously an idiot when she's gonna let a dude skate on after he even stole something no president has ever done, at least to that extent that he did. Thousands.
No, it's no president has ever done, and no president, like reading that book, no president has ever been indicted on.
No, never been indicted. No, yeah, absolutely. But they found documents at Pence, even vice president. They found documents at Pence's house, and they found documents at Biden house as well, but to the extent that they found at Trump's.
But hold on, you want to know what's hilarious about Ooh, and it's a pun too. But what's hilarious about the whole documents thing? Two things. First, I thought it was the funniest thing I ever heard when this guy said, you can just declassify a document in your mind. Just think about it. Declassify it. I thought that was the funniest thing I had heard like that week. But the other thing, you remember with Hillary and the emails, they wanted to lock her up, throw her in jail. Isn't having a hard copy of some documents worse than some emails sent from your personal email instead of a protected server?
Man, listen. It ain't even a conversation,
It's
bro.
like pot, meat, kettle, and
It's crazy, man. Like any other president wouldn't even ran for president after they got caught doing something like that. But this is one thing I give Trump. He pushes the envelope.
yes,
Like I'm one of them people that I always say all they can do is say no. Like, you have a problem with your bill or something, or
you call
if
them
you at
up.
work,
Yeah,
or if you at work and you know what I'm saying, you want to ask, for some, type of special privilege. All they can do is say no. And then they say no, you move on.
he
But
say
this
all they can
dude,
say is no, and if they say no, keep going.
he say keep going.
Keep
You know
going.
what I'm saying? Keep going after they say no 1,000 times. They gonna eventually bend. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
like
And
the thing with the citations. It's like, dude, you got to pay us this money for these. Nah, I ain't paying.
right, you know what I'm saying? It always goes back. And what's so frustrating about it is us regular folk, like if we get told no once, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We can't say, well, what about this? No.
No.
What about that? No. Well, man, come on, no. Please, no. Eventually, it's like, dude, get out of here.
I saw a guy on one of the socials. He was on a bicycle. The other guy was in a car, and the cop said, and it's two white people, all white people. So, cop said, "Y'all both getting tickets." And the guy on the bike, like, "Come on, why? Please, I'm sorry. What can we do to fix?" He said everything he could to try and get out of this ticket, and he was like, "No." He was like, "Why am I getting a ticket?" He said, "Because you were aggressive to him and you opened up his door." He said, "But he tried to hit me." He said, "It doesn't matter. Let us come over there and let us do it." The cop explained it to him perfectly. This guy had great training. He let his no mean no and his yes mean yes. He ain't getting no yes. But, like you said, you trying to get your yes and no. Or you can pretend like you didn't get a no, like we got a guy that does.
Yeah, like all they can do is say no if I ask. If they don't say no, well, here I go.
But that's the one thing I do understand about a lot of his supporters. I think it was me and you that had this conversation, but this was a regular conversation. They like what he represents and what a millionaire or a wealthy person or a strong person is supposed to be. It's like we around Halloween time. It's like he acts like how they think that person is supposed to be instead of how that person really is. So like the stuff he says and the stuff he does, it's like, man, in your deep, dark, secret mind, you wish you could do stuff like that.
You wish, yeah.
And I think that's why I feel like that's why his supporters are so adamant about everything he does is right, because they wish and think like, and then, I mean, I hate to say it, but like a lot of racism comes from that, because like, I wish I could just embalm every black whatever I see.
Yeah.
And, if I see other people doing that, that give me the strength to feel like I can do that too. That's what I feel like. That's why I think a lot of that support comes from, because it's a imitation of what you think strength is, and B, because, that's it. It's an imitation of what you think strength is. That's it.
Like what I say is he make people comfortable with the worst of themselves.
Yeah, they like, well, if he can grab him by the poom, why can't I?
And if he can make it to the presidency,
it
to
always
make it,
reminds me what the Chris Rock movie when he became the president. It's like the opposite version of that. You know, he was out there being real and everything. He had Bernie Mac smacking people, walking up to him. You remember that movie? That movie was hilarious.
Head of state.
Head of state. It's the white version of head of state, old white version, because he's an old white dude. And so that's what we in right now. Because I mean, that's like the nose.
That's cultish, though.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. Like, these people don't read books because this is on target with another guy.
It's cults and it's sheep.
Yes.
He's able to say the things that I can't say or do, but I wish I could.
I wish I could. And I think it's
I really
dope that
wish
he do.
I could. And because of social media, you know what I'm saying, the internet, all these people are able to congregate, then they share these things amongst each other, and then they say, "Oh, look at him. He's the leader.
Yep.
He's the leader of these thoughts that we have that we can't say." Like, there's people on my Facebook, you know what I'm saying, or in my, at my work, or at just regular life, you know what I'm saying. They be like, "Yeah, I'm Trump." Like, they're like, "Well, why?" And they really can't explain it.
And they really can't explain it. Like I said, they vilified him so much.
Yeah, like, it's like, I mean, if you feel that strong about somebody or something, you should be able to explain why. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, Trump. Why?
Shut up. Why? Like, why? I ain't got to tell you shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I did was ask why. Like, you say, well, why do you like that? I say, well, Kamala, she want the women to have their body autonomy. You know what I'm saying? She want to give businesses startup money. You know what I'm saying? She want to give families money to start their family. You know what I'm saying? She want the $35 insulin. She want to do the, you know what I'm saying, the Inflation Reduction Act. She want to keep the stuff going on with Biden. Your turn. Go ahead.
Cuz. Gold Bible.
They got nothing. They literally got nothing.
Like I said, Gold Bible.
Shut up.
$400 shoes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They don't be having nothing for you. But,
man, and speaking of $400 shoes, that was so insulting. I saw the dude, he was like, yeah, black people love sneakers. So what's the best way to get black votes? Sell these $300 gold sneakers. Them things is ugly as hell.
They said those shoes cost a lot of shoes cost, a lot of, real cheap to make, but those like super cheap to make, like, shoes that,
man, them look like my daughter could make them at a school project. Them things
exactly.
Them things.
Did you see the $100,000 watch that they said cost like $5?
Nah, I ain't see that. I ain't hip to the watch.
Yeah, man, dude is a grifter.
The Bible, like, I don't think besides your mandatory church things, I don't see this dude ever going to church. We was talking about McDonald's. We was talking about McDonald's, but I was telling him, I said, this dude ain't never had no regular job. I was arguing with dude online. I said, this dude ain't never had a regular job. A job, period. Forget regular. Said he did.
Yeah, he ain't never had a job.
He did. He worked for his dad. I said, nah, that does not count as a job.
He worked for his dad.
And he turned the company into this and this and that. My mother, she used to work for people cleaning houses. And it was one of the people she worked for was a vending company. And this dude was balling out of control, just living one of the nicest neighborhoods in our hometown. And Ferraris, nice house, everything, cool. You know what he made his kids do? Work at McDonald's. He had 3 kids. I didn't know the one, he was older than me, but the 2 kids made them get them a job at McDonald's
Yeah,
in
now that's a
town.
good dad.
Now that's a job, and can give them the world. But at the same time, hey, you got to go.
Yeah, you
fry
got
them
to be out.
fries.
You got to be out. This my money. This ain't your money.
This ain't right, and I feel like people who are
I
in
work for
those
this. I hustle.
people in those situations, I don't feel like a lot of people do that for them for their kids, and black people either. Like I just don't feel like people who have that kind of money have their kids learn any type of responsibility. I mean, even in my job now, I'm in a more teaching spot, and not by any fault of our own, but a lot of times when we grow up, we say, I ain't gonna never talk to my kids like this, or I ain't never gonna do this to my kids. I feel like we done went so far with not doing some of the things that happened to us that we've coddled kids to, like, they don't even know how to cut grass. I got another podcast I'm talking about. These kids don't even know how to cut grass. Like, they get to a firehouse, like, hey, it's lawn day. Like, what you talking about? They don't.
You talking? What you mean, kids? These sound like grown men.
Well, we got some 20-year-olds. They are grown men.
The grown men.
Yes, they are. But I know. I call
don't know
kids,
how to cut grass.
I call them kids by force of habit. They don't know how to cut grass. They don't know how to mop floors. They don't know how to. It's like, and it's two ways we look at it. Like, a lot of guys complain about it, which is what I'm trying to stop doing.
Probably
so
can't
much.
even make ramen noodles either. They probably put the ramen
can't.
noodles in the microwave.
They probably, yes, in the microwave. So, even though we don't eat ramen noodles at the firehouse, but I know what you're saying. But
yeah, y'all eat like
we
cakes.
We have the opportunity to teach them the right way, our way, if we think our way is the right way. So that's I'm trying to flip the narrative in my mind to not be like, man, y'all don't know shit, to, well, let me teach you.
You ain't been taught. Let me get you together. Yeah, it's one of them things. Like, I be seeing threats like that. Like, you know, they be talking about these college kids. They talk about they went to college. You know, they were raised in a house where, you know, they had to learn how to do laundry. They had to learn how to, you know, go to the store and buy, you know, eating utensils and bowls and stuff. And then they roommates show up. They ain't got nothing. All they did was get dropped off.
Yep.
They're like, okay, you here? Like, what you gonna do now? I don't know. I'm supposed to go to college.
I'm supposed to go to college, right? Well, that's like when we took you down there, you know, we was at Family Dollar, and when you helped me move up here, same place, we was at Family Dollar buying just basic stuff. I mean, buying towels and washcloths, knew how to do some stuff.
Yeah, we was raised the right way. You know what I'm saying? We was raised to, like, you know, you got to be able to fend for yourself out here. You got to know the basics.
The basics, right. And that's why
you got to know the basics, and then, you know what I'm saying, there's micro and macro. Then you learn the basics, you learn the survival side. You know what I'm saying?
They got that show, what I fell asleep to it yesterday. What would you do? They come on ABC, and the guy was out trying to change a tire, and he was like messing up on purpose to see who would stop to help him. And wouldn't nobody stop to help this dude. And then asked the people when they walk past, hey, why didn't you help that guy change that tire? I don't know how to change a tire. I said, what? No, my daughter, when I was teaching her how to drive, I said, first thing you're going to learn is how to change a tire and how to jump a battery. And I said, I'm not going to do it. You going to do it. It's like you got your driver's license. You passed the test. Cool. Now you got to pass my test to see if you even going to be able to go out. So she had her nails all pretty. I said, just don't get them done next week, because you're going to be changing the tire and jumping this car. Because it's going to be times where you call me and your mother. I ain't going to be able to get there. I might not be able to send nobody to you. At a minimum, you should be able to put this spare on and make it to the next stop. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very important. Super important. Like, no changing tires on highways. So I have a phobia about that.
Oh no, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, or you
have to pull down far.
Speaking,
I ride it flat to the next exit if I can.
That's
Just call like I don't know if y'all got them out there and where you at, but like we got them State Farm trucks that just drive up and down the highway looking for people that got and Geico too.
We ain't
They just drive up and down the highway looking for people that's in trouble.
Really? Nope, we ain't got that. We got, well, in the city we just got the big yellow wreckers that come and move people off the highway.
No, it's like a courtesy type thing.
That's pretty dope. So they making some money. That's the insurance companies. Well, I know my rates are through the roof, but that's a conversation for another day.
Forget about it. Forget about that, Jack.
Let's switch to some quick sports talk, and we get ready to get out of here because we got about a good hour of stuff, and
yeah,
I put it all together. So our Browns won yesterday against the evil and hated Ravens. Even though I'm gonna say this publicly, and I'll probably get killed for this, I don't hate the Ravens. Like, I know people call them the rat birds and they the worst and they got stolen tonight. It ain't their fault, but my question is this to you, sports-wise. When your team loses and your team is out, do you root for the rest of the division or it's just F everybody?
It's kind of fuck everybody. I know you said F. I'm going to say the actual word. Yeah, I'm not rooting for the Ravens and the Steelers or the Bengals.
So if they go to the Super Bowl and they like the Bengals win,
I'm not rooting for nobody. I'm just going to watch the game.
I'm with that. Okay, I'm gonna just watch the game. I'm with that. Because I ain't rooting. I wasn't rooting for Michigan when they went to the national championship. So nah.
Oh, I'm not rooting for nobody. If I'm not winning, I don't want nobody else to win. I'm a hater like that.
Somebody, you Kendrick Lamar. Somebody else got to win. But no, I know what you're saying. I feel the same way. I just wanted to ask and play the other side. But again, I don't hate the Ravens as much as I don't even hate the Bengals. Only team I hate is the Steelers. And I feel like I hate them.
I hate them all.
Well, I hate them especially because there's people in Cleveland who ain't never set foot in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, a nice city. I mean,
yeah, I've been to Pittsburgh,
but they ain't never set foot in Pittsburgh. Ain't been to Pittsburgh. Ain't tasted Pittsburgh panini. Nothing.
Ain't been to Baltimore. Ain't been to Cincinnati.
And they love them teams. Like they love them like they daddy came from there or something.
So, it tripped me out when I was down in Cincinnati. I'm like, man, it'd be so weird when you went like in another football city. And you see, like, man, all this Bengals gear. Like, man, what is this Bengals stuff? I'm like, wait a minute, this is Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati stink, though.
Cincinnati is not my favorite.
You ever been to Cincinnati?
One time. 2 times.
It smells like garbage and methane gas downtown. I tell anybody that I talk to.
Well, it's by that river.
It smells worse than New York. And New York
got garbage in the front.
Bigger.
And New York got garbage in the front.
I couldn't believe it. I'm walking downtown and my hotel was downtown. I'm like, man, what? Why do it smell like this here?
Yeah.
It was a bustling downtown. I was really impressed, but that smell was very unimpressive. I couldn't take it. It was terrible.
And then
God awful.
Right there by Kentucky. So, and that ain't the. I don't want to talk bad about the South.
Cincinnati, Kentucky. Ain't no such thing as Cincinnati, Ohio.
That's Cincinnati, Kentucky. Just give them to a whole nother state.
Yeah, Cincinnati, Kentucky.
But anyway, our Browns won a game they weren't expected to win. Impressed us. And you had put up, why can they move the ball now? And I'm like, you know why. So tell me why they can move the ball all of a sudden.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like our people, our black people, I mean, we defend each other even though it's right in front of you that some things is indefensible.
We defend each other like Trump supporters.
Yeah, and you know what? Unfortunately. And you know what? like there are a myriad of ways to watch football plays. Like I always post about the all 22 film. What is the all 22 film? You know, a football game is 11 on 11. The all 22 film is the film from ahead, the film from the one end zone to the other end zone. And they show it in a blown up view, and you can see the line blocking, you can see the routes developing, you can see what type of coverage the DBs are in. You can see if the D line is doing stunts or if they just straight rushing or if they're slanting. You can see all this stuff on this all 22 film.
You can see who playing, who deserve to be out there.
Yes. So, you know, I watch this stuff every week. Every week. Now, I didn't play football, but I got eyes. You know what I'm saying? I have eyes and I can see what's happening in front of me. Deshaun Watson is a bum.
God. Oh, man. You are keeping it a buck.
He can't read a defense. He runs into sacks. He overthrows receivers. He underthrows receivers. He doesn't see receivers running open. He do a lot of check downs. That's why you will see him have like 14 for 15. That's a lot of completion. But he only had like 122 yards.
Because he don't push the ball down the field.
Because he don't push the ball downfield. Now, he's played all these games. I mean, he ain't played a whole lot of games.
No, but he's played a lot of games.
He's played enough games to show that he's, good enough. Now, let's go back to Joe Flacco. Now, look, I know a lot of people, Joe Flacco, yay. To me, Joe Flacco was all right.
He was decent.
He threw 2 pick sixes.
2 pick sixes in the playoff game. Yep, you took the words out of my mouth.
But at least he would push the ball down the field. That's what you can do in Stefanski offense.
Yeah.
And then you seen Jameis get in there.
He did the same
push
thing.
The ball. It's the same offense.
DTR.
Even
PJ
Walker. They changed the offense for Jameis. It's the same offense.
They didn't. And Ken Dorsey was calling it, but they brought Ken Dorsey for the shine.
It's still the same offense.
Yeah.
And then he had Wyatt Teller and Chubb was back.
That ain't had nothing to do with nothing.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Because Chubb ain't even have a fantastic game.
This is the thing, because I look at all this stuff, you got pocket, they call it, time in the pocket. I think Jameis had 4.6 seconds in the pocket. Now, that's a lot of time. Deshaun would have 3.8.
But the reason why he would have the 3.8, because he would run out of the pocket.
No, he would have the 3.8 before he ran. Then he would run.
I got what you said.
Then he would run.
Okay. I thought you were saying he broke it down and he was the reason. Okay.
The typical amount of time that they say that a quarterback in the NFL needs to release the ball is 3 seconds. You have to make your read within 3 seconds. So they was giving Deshaun 3.7 seconds. And he would take off and run, or he'd throw some bullshit. But you know what I'm saying, Jameis, he got 4 seconds, but even before then, if he didn't have the 4 seconds, he was getting rid of that ball quick. Make your read. If that safety is over the top, or if that safety is in the box, if those corners and those safeties are in the cover 3, if they're in the cover 2, if they're in a man, if they're in a robber, if they're in all these different things, you got to read it right away.
Well, that's what he was doing.
Able to do it.
And he was fitting that ball in some windows that was like, oh my God.
You have to have confidence in your arm. That's what Flacco was doing last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what all good quarterbacks do. At the end of the day, it's just like basketball. It's just like any sport with the ball. The ball moves faster than the person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why
you know where you're
going so
with the
important.
Ball.
Yep.
Yes, if you know where you're going with the ball before the person is able to react to it, you always going to win the throw. You're always going to win that matchup.
Well, with basketball, That's how the Spurs killed the Heat that year. Just moving that rock. I don't even think
Move the rock.
I don't even think the ball touched the ground. Some of them plays. They got it over half court and they would just sling it. Would just, and the Heat was just running in circles trying to catch them. So
Yes,
the ball moved faster than
the balls move faster than the person. You know what I'm saying? As long as you understand that, and if you know where your read is, dude, you good money.
Right, you go your
and
1,
Watson
2, 3.
Didn't know where his reads were.
Well, see,
he would always check down.
I feel like with Vince Young, Cam Newton, him, and a bit of Johnny Manziel, and now Richardson from college too. I feel like they relied against people in college on their athleticism so much that when they got to the NFL, they works for a little while, but then when your body starts to catch up with you to a point, you have to be able to go to the techniques. Even in my baby career of firefighting, I remember I told a woman, I said, technique don't mean nothing. You got to be strong. That's what I said first out the gate. That was the wrong thing to say.
Come on, dude. You know better than that.
Well, I was 16, but I thought I could go all day. And like I said, I learned, I know different now. And like I said, like Vince Young, you remember when he came out, he was going to do this. He ran into the end zone to win them that national championship. Cam Newton did the same thing. Deshaun Watson did the same thing. But they get to the league, and that only goes so far. Out of them 3 quarterbacks, the most successful one was Cam Newton. And then when it was time for him to go somewhere else, he wasn't able to go nowhere else.
Like, there were, like, when you watch the game, like, you know, a lot of people look at the game. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I look at the game.
Yeah.
But then I look at it, I'll look at it again. It's like, okay, let me watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Like, watching that game, like, dude, those receivers was running the same routes.
Yes.
No, again, you know, Jones was playing left tackle. You know, they got Wyatt Teller back. You know, Chubb is back.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a little bit different. But even still, those plays were still open.
Don't hit the thing.
Oh, my fault. Those plays were still open when Deshaun was back there without those players in the lineup. Those throws were still, and he wouldn't throw the ball.
Yeah. You got to have a mix. A good mix of your athleticism with the ability to read defense and throw the ball.
It's confidence, though. It's confidence that you can make the throw, that you are actually seeing what you think what you're actually seeing, what you think you're seeing.
Well, that's what I liked about Baker. I mean, those kind of quarterbacks, they do get you more picks, but it seems like they have success more often too because they able to get that ball down the field.
Yeah, like you do. Like the NFL, you got to challenge the middle of the field. You have to challenge anything 10 to 20 yards, at least 10 times a game.
Yes.
And then you want to take your deep shots over that.
Yes.
Maybe 5 times a game.
Yeah.
But if you just throwing 5-yard
down every time,
like 10-yard check downs, like that's not good enough.
No. Like
that's not sufficient.
You got your safety blanket, but you can't use your safety blanket the whole way down the field because all the DB's going to do is start coming up, and then you can't use your run game, and then you scared to throw it over the top. So, well, not scared, but you can't, it's just.
You want to know what's one of the things that frustrates me about Deshaun Watson? He never throws the ball away.
No, he always tries to do a super play. He always tries to do a super play no matter what.
He never throws the ball away. He never challenges the field. Like I think he only had 2 interceptions.
That's because he's scared to throw it.
Because he's scared to throw the ball. Absolutely. Like I'd rather him take chances and, try to make throws and, and get picked off than just, well, it ain't there. I'm gonna just throw a check down.
So we gotta
make you look like you don't know what you looking at.
We got a mess now. What's your opinion on how to clean it up?
I mean, this is what I think. I think they're gonna start him again next year. That's number 1.
Yeah, I've
because
heard that on the radio. They got too much tied up in him.
Too much tied up in him. But I think the hook is going to be quicker. I think the hook is going to be quick because at that point you get to a situation where you do what Al Davis did to Marcus Allen. You know what I'm saying? You go sit on the bench and you ain't gonna play. Or they could just tell him like, what Houston did. Don't even come, you know what I'm saying? You good? Don't even come to the game. You know what I'm saying? They could do, you can't be doing this in front of me. You're gonna make me laugh. Get up and walk around or something.
You can laugh. It's a good thing we didn't do video the first time.
But yeah, like I think it's going to be a thing where he's going to start and say, okay, we're going to give them games because again, they already have evidence that people can get off their couch or they can get off the bench and run their offense. Why can't you run it?
4 times.
You know what I'm saying?
They got 4 examples. Five examples. You can count Baker too, because he did good in this Stefanski offense.
So he's going to start next year. The rest of this year, they said that Jameis is the starter going forward.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win them too many games.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to get the type of quarterback they want, on the draft. But then again, this isn't the best quarterback draft. Most of the best players are on defense or offensive line. So a lot of these quarterbacks are going to drop anyway. So maybe they might still be able to get, the pick of the litter. But I think Jameis can win them. What they 2-6?
2-6 now.
I think Jameis can get them to what 7-10.
That'd be nice. I mean, you'd rather be winning than not, but
yeah. But
I can see that. I always like Jameis.
He gonna take chances. He gonna piss you off.
He put together his tape to go to college. I love the way he talked. I love the way he talk. I always liked the way he talk. When they was making fun of him for eating that W, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, if that's what you need to do to get your guys going, get your guys going. I mean, if I need to be a little corny and make some jokes, hey, it is what it is. We out here playing ball. We out here playing a kid's game, entertainment, and getting paid for it. Like
sometimes you need. It's the joy of the playing the sport. Sometimes you need to, have a corny dude in your huddle to make you all relax and make you, joke around and like, man, this dude, why did he say that?
Yep.
Then you just, you take it off of you. Then you just ready to go play the sport.
Like
sometimes you need that guy.
Joe Montana, the Super Bowl. Hey, ain't that John Candy in the first row? What? And John Candy was one of the biggest stars in the world at that time. So
right. So yeah, you need that type of guy, But I wish the best for Deshaun. We'll see what happened with him.
Yep.
I don't wish a lot of people. Yeah, I'm glad he gone. I don't want to say that.
Especially not the way he went, like that.
Yeah, the way he went, that ain't cool. That ain't kosher. That ain't what's up. And he'll be back.
Okay.
He's gonna be back starting next year.
Well, in our making the episode, we forgot to say goodbye. So, again, this was our first episode back in a long time. I feel like we were just really happy to speak to each other and talk to each other for such a long time. Troy is one of my best friends in the entire world. I've known Troy for forever. If you don't know the two of us, we met when we were about 3-4 years old, probably 4, because before we started going to school, and we still kind of went outside and did stuff. And one day we'd get to the story of how we met each other. But me and Troy have been cool and been kicking it for that amount of time, and we just hadn't talked in a while. So you heard a true, genuine conversation between two men who just have a lot of love, respect, and admiration for each other. on that brother-like level. So again, we didn't get a chance to do a proper goodbye, but goodbye for this episode. We look forward to seeing you on weeks to come and everything else we do. And please, if you liked or appreciated anything in this episode, share it with us. You can email us once I get that up and going. But in the meantime, my individual email is info@department3c.com. Will respond to anything that you have to say to us about the show. We have a website. It's PIQUETHIS, piquethis.com. You can find us there, a little bit more information about the show, what we do, what we're up to, and all the things that we're going to be bringing to you in the weeks to come. Again, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
We on the block, we got stories to tell. From the court to the street, we can always excel. We talk sports, we talk life, we talk culture and grind. Politics in the mix, coming openly mine. Two brothers speaking, truth with that old school beat. Breaking down the game from the field to the street. Laughs and debates, every episode tight. We light up the mic and go all night. Talking about the world and how we rise. From hood dreams to politics, no disguise. Culture and life mixed in the flow. Just two dudes letting everybody know. Now we talking about the world and how we rise. From hoop dreams to politics, no disguise. Culture and life mixed in the flow. Just two dudes letting everybody know. Now from the city to suburbs, our voices they roam. Sports, debates, and some love for the home. We keep it real and uncut, no edits, no frills. Catch us dropping gems and spinning the reel. We bring the fire with every word we say. Struggles and wins talked out in our way. Tune in and vibe will keep you on track. We got the knowledge and the passion all inside. And we talking about the world and how we rise. From hoop dreams to politics, no disguise. Culture and life mixed in the flow. Just two dudes letting everybody know. Now we talking about the world and how we rise. From hoop dreams to politics, no disguise. Culture and life mixed in the flow. Just two dudes letting everybody know. Yeah. Yo, we talking about the world and how we rise. From hoop dreams to politics, no disguise. Culture and life mixed in the flow. Just two dudes letting everybody know. Now from the city to suburbs, our voices they roam. Sports debates and some love for the home. We keep it real and uncut, no edits, no frills. Catch us dropping gems and spitting the real. We bring the fire with every word we say. Struggles and wins talked out in our way. Tune in and vibe, we'll keep you on track. We got the knowledge and the passion all intact. Yeah. We bring the fire with every word we say. Struggles and wins talked out in our way. Tune in and vibe, we'll keep you on track. We got the knowledge and the passion all intact. Yeah.